In Crime and Punishment tonight, new information, some of it quite surprising, about those members of a militia group accused of plotting to wage war against the U.S. government and murder federal police officers. Now, 8 of the suspects, shown here, were in a Detroit courtroom today. They all pleaded not guilty to charges alleging they were attempting to launch a violent revolution against the U.S. Now, their group, which they call themselves the Hutaree, authorities say its members view law enforcement as the enemy and believe armed conflict is the only way to destroy them. Now, this is the leader of the Hutaree. His name is David Stone. Now, according to court documents, Mr. Stone certainly voiced very bad intentions, and he certainly had a big enough collection of weapons to do some damage. But some of the details in the indictment make this group out to be, well, not exactly brain surgeons. Stone and his followers, including his wife Tina and son Josh, wanted to create a country carved from 4 Michigan counties and then defend it as the one world order. They allegedly had gotten information about making bombs off the internet, only they made theirs with cardboard tubes, and though they did have some explosive material, they did not have any filled with shrapnel. And prosecutors also revealed they had audio tapes of the suspects that made clear their plot in one apparent conversation between Josh Stone and Tina Stone, his mom. When Tina told her son he needed to find work, Josh Stone allegedly says to her, "I can't get a job, I'm preparing for war." To which his mother allegedly replies, "Well, I'm preparing for war too, but I still have a job." Special Investigations correspondent Drew Griffin is at the correspondent, joins us now. Drew, was this group a real threat?
Anderson, I don't want to minimize what the prosecutors say these guys said. The undercover agent infiltrated this group, trained with them. They certainly looked really scary. But as the details, the onion began to get peeled back, there was a lot of just unbelievable stuff said today about how dangerous this group might have been had they had the capability to begin their own country and fight a war with the New World Order that would come racing to try to get them. But deep down, I really, after being on this story for like 3 days, I don't think these people had the capability to do much at all. You know, several details in this case talk about how, you know, they couldn't get the bomb-making material. They couldn't get the bombs to work. The undercover agent actually had to assist them in trying to help them, to show them how to make these things. All their information and their planning basically came from the Internet, and they put it all on the Internet. So it was all there for anyone who wanted to take a look to see.
Because it does seem like, and a lot of times there are these stories, they make a lot of headlines, you know, they certainly cause a lot of attention, and then as the details emerge, it seems like there's an undercover person in there, and as you said, oftentimes we've seen that undercover officer has had to kind of help them along in their plans to get them to a place where they may be operational. I mean, I don't know if that's the case in this one, other than, you know, voices on a tape and what sound like sort of half-baked plans. Is the feeling that prosecutors have enough to convict these people?
It sounded to me like there was a lot of hateful and dangerous talk. Killing a police officer, burning down a police officer's house, and then shooting the police officer and his family when they came out the door, right? But there was no specific plot, no specific police officer they were going after. It sounded just like a bunch of crazy talk. After the court hearing, I asked the prosecutor when he came out the door, look, the attorneys say this is nothing but just a bunch of bad talk. Here's what he had to say. I mean, the attorneys are arguing you really don't have anything other than people expressing their free speech.
Well, we have a public information officer who would be probably the best person to discuss the matter.
Can I ask just one factual question? The 37 guns confiscated, were any of them illegally obtained or illegal?
As I said, I don't want to try the case out here on the courtyard. I mean, the courthouse steps. Best place is in the courtroom. So I don't want to go into any facts that haven't been presented. And the best way, if you need information, is to go see our public information officer.
Is this going to be a...
Well, the facts are, Anderson, that they did confiscate 37 guns, but they aren't charged with having any illegal possession of guns. They did confiscate some bomb-making materials or material that could be used to make bombs, but again, there are no bomb charges here. It's a conspiracy case. The attorneys, the court-appointed attorneys, all say, look, this is a free speech case, and that's what it's going to come down to when this gets into the courtroom.
We'll continue to follow it. Drew Griffin, appreciate it, Drew. Thanks a lot.